Welcome. Welcome back if anyone is actually watching. I say welcome back. It's my first time streaming in like nearly a month. So welcome back first time in a very long time, if an actual returning viewer is here. Mainly was sick for like a week. The last week, had family over the week before that, and was taking like recovery from a big stream the week before. So yeah, long time away from streaming. In that time, a few little upgrades. Got my music sorted. I got my music sorted like 3 weeks ago, and have not done anything with it since then. But here we are. Got some chill beats playing in the background. Hopefully I'll have a clearer eye on the volume moving forward. But the biggest improvement. See the way I'm looking right into you, but I'm also looking at me because I've got a teleprompter. Got an Elgato prompter, and so everything is just going to be a bit classier. I've set up a green screen, and then I tried using AI to remove my background, and it turned out to be just as good, if not better. So I've got, instead of using a little pop-up box to show me when I'm coding, we're going to be working with some like this. So I've got my side camera here, and so we're going to be coding like this. I'm going to be sitting on top of the code, hopefully a bit nicer. I've revamped the side of the screen over here, so we've got the chat isn't going to be just like big old blocks of red and purple on the screen that might sometimes have some chat in them, but probably not. It's instead going to be nice and sleek, just like a little suggestion that this is where the Twitch chat goes and this is where the YouTube chat goes, and they can go there if they want. I've also changed the bubbles that actually appear, so it's not easy for me to type in chat right now because I've gotten rid of the window, but yeah, it's we'll see if a chat message actually comes in, how nicer that is. But yeah, ultimately taking a long time away from this. I was really enjoying it for I think I did like 7 or 8 streams in a row over from January. I think my first stream was on January the 1st, and then I did like 2 or 3 streams a week for 2 or 3 weeks consistently, and really liked it. And I don't think I even got burnt out. I think I just did like one stream too much. I put too much effort into it, and I was like, I really need a weekend. And then I had all this family stuff and sickness coming up. So yeah, hopefully that'll be the first or the last big break I take like that, or at least an unplanned one. I think it's okay to be able to take breaks, but preferably just not after 3 weeks of trying to start a career to then just spontaneously take 3 weeks off. That's probably not great. But this music is too chill. Hang on, I gotta switch to something a bit more amped. Probably not right for the vibe, but okay. Let's go happier one. Okay, might need to play around with volume there. But yeah, so if anyone is watching, thank you for joining today. Happy to be your background noise for the day. Basically, what I am working on here, I'm having tech issues. Okay, what I'm working on here today, and what we generally work on this channel, code, everybody's favorite thing. And what code in particular? Well, see this guy over here. This is a storybook component, no, storybook app, storybook thing, and this is the representation of my React library. Only some of it is documented, and that's something I actually want to work on today, is further documentation. If we go to github.com /Connor Kelleher /LocalBoast. Oh, I'm so great at finding my own things. LocalBoast, this is where we're at. Zoom in so it can be seen. So we're working on React library, and we're just working on this together. It's basically full of hooks, helpers, and components that are just supposed to give like off-the-shelf, really handy, useful functionality, specifically relating to fun little interactions, dumb little UX things. And the storybook, as well as being the documentation for it, it's also just sort of a showcase of what it can do. There's some things we've got on there, like animated text. This is this is a component, but I've also got I've also got a hook version of it, use animated text, and basically it's designed to do something like this with minimal effort. Not no effort, but just minimal effort. You can see how easy it is to do is just you call use animated text and give it some text. And then you've got this self-animating per character animation thing with controls in terms of like how frequently you want it via the options and stuff. That's kind of what we're going for, is these dumb little things that I certainly want on my website that other people might want on their websites, but it just takes a bit of effort to get there. And that's what we're trying to achieve here. Other ones we've got like middle truncation. That's something that I kept needing to do. Oh, is this broken? Oh. Okay, got to take note of that. That is now broken. I wonder, is that a fire? Oh, is that? I would have tried it in Firefox before. Let's see. Because basically I build things through Firefox generally because Firefox is a lot less stable in terms of web development. Just going to quickly take a check of that. Yeah, basically I've been building things in Firefox with the assumption that if they work there, they work in Chrome. And what do you know? Yeah, it works perfectly in Firefox, but not Chrome. Okay, so I need to take note of that. I keep track of all these tasks in a little extension on my new tab page in Firefox. Isn't that professional? Some people might use Trello, some people might use Jira. I use this little extension. What am I even doing? Chrome, truncation, examples, no worky. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's a really interesting thing to know, is I just assumed that if things work in Firefox, they would work in Chrome. And that is not the case. So we'll keep that in mind moving forward. But yeah, you can see what middle truncate is supposed to do. Is like, it's really easy to truncate things from the end. But if we want to truncate from the middle or from the start, or have an offset to our truncation like this, I don't know how visible that really is. We'll zoom in. Yeah, it should be a bit more visible. Screw it. I'm going to just go insanely close up for the sake of you guys seeing it. So you can see that it's like truncating from the middle there. And if I could have like an offset so that it's like always keeping a specific amount, like this one, you want, you know, the first 4 characters to always be visible. That's just something that at the 2 big professional coding jobs I've had have needed some version of this implemented, and it was not impossible, but we said to them, oh, that is not an easy thing to do because the web just does not support that by default. So we had to go off and build something of our own versions, and they did not work very well. So one of the first things I did when I built this library, started putting it together, is make a middle truncate component that hopefully works in way more cases than any of those ones that we built at my past jobs. Yeah, this is, yeah, it's sort of just me flexing my React chops, and also just like a personal portfolio type thing. And as well as building it out in Storybook as like a NPM library, there's a website, LocalBoast.com, that it's very much a work in progress, but you can see I'm using my animating text hook here to just give it a little bit of a silly changing title over time. And that's basically the kind of thing we're talking about. Is we've got one that hasn't been moved into the library, but a thing that handles haptics. So I don't know how visible it is here, but like if I hover over these, they get bigger. When I click on them, they animate smaller and bigger. All those things, I've made that happen via just like one hook, or and similarly a wrapping component. And those are things that I haven't moved it into the library yet, but that's going to go in there as just these things that, as I'm building out my website and I see the need for some reusable little piece of fun UX functionality, like making a button feel more haptic. That's something that I'm trying to build it as standalone as possible so that it can just go into the library for anyone to use. And yeah, a lot of that stuff is either hasn't been moved into the library or has been moved into the library and is not documented. So that's something I want to look at doing today, because right now, if you look at the storybook, it looks pretty bare. There's like three components. One of them doesn't even have anything in it. It's just absolute bare bones. And a few of these, like use move and use rotate, I got them to the point that they like can kind of function. But that's about it. So yeah, the storybook is very much lacking. But yeah, we're just going to play around with some stuff today. So, got a bit of a plan. We go over to the whiteboard. So our plan for today. I told you I had production value, didn't I? So our plan for today. And as always, when you're making a plan, first thing you have to do is write the word plan. And switch marker. First and foremost, we're going to play around with, I'm calling it playback. We've got the playback component, which I will dive into in a minute, but basically I want a way to, as easily as possible through a UI, be able to have some code that automatically changes to other code for the sake of demonstration and tutorials. It's something that I saw through some videos talking about code where I really liked how they did it, and I thought, how did they get that automatically changing code into a video? It's something that I've been thinking about, because I'm going to be doing like coding tutorials and talking about React libraries. Basically, you know, they had like, they showed, here's my line of code, and then they would explain something, and then that line of code would, you know, the next line of code would reveal character by character as if someone were typing it. And you could very easily do that through screen recording, but it would have all of your IDE prompts, all of the, you know, if you took a few too long to type a certain character, or if you typoed, all of that would clearly be in the video, in the screen recording. So I just want a component where you can basically be like, here's the first iteration of my code, here's the second iteration of my code, and so on. And have a way to like click between them, almost like a slideshow, but have it, the React component that handles it, change the, you know, what code is visible. And we sort of seen that there through my animated text component. That's going to be the fuel for this. So the way it's automatically changing, and that's, for the most part, I've implemented the core functionality where you give it a string, then you give it a second string, and it interpolates between the two, decides what has to be deleted, and animates all the characters changing. So I've got the core functionality there. I just want to get to the actual inevitable use case that I wanted in the first place, of having being able to go between different code iterations, mainly for the sake of videos, that you could screen record just my component and have the like nice tabs going between the two. I think it'll all come together if it's not clear what I'm talking about. But that'll come together. So that's the main thing we want to work on, is the playback component. If I don't get burnt out, if I'm not too tired from talking too much, and we get something working with that, or we get so frustrated with that we don't know what to do, we can look into some documentation stuff. Documentation. And this lovely handwriting is why I got into coding. If you can't read that, neither can I. Don't worry. But yeah, this will be here. We can refer back to that later if we need to. Yeah, let's just get into it. If I'm testing a new sort of setup with my stream, where previously I had my like OBS telling me everything that's going on with the stream, if people are viewing, what's going on in chat, all on my main monitor. And what I'm doing now is, because I've got the teleprompter, I don't have any of that. Genius, right? Basically, I've just got the preview on the teleprompter, so I can see how the stream is looking, but I will not see, you know, if people in real time, if people are coming into chat. No, I'll see it in chat because it's in the overlay, but I won't see if people are, like, if the view count's going up or anything. So yeah, if anyone is watching, feel free to put it into chat, because the only way for me to be aware that you are here is for the little chat bubbles to appear. And then we can have just a bit of a chit chat, talk about what I'm actually working on, why I'm working on it. Yeah. Hopefully the music isn't too loud. I think it's going to really help me get through this. Because that's something I don't know if I've talked about in previous streams. So like I'm probably like riddled with ADHD, but I can't just like sit and do something without music playing, or not even music, YouTube or fucking Netflix shows, and I'd be doing that at the office. When I had a full-time job working on code, I cannot just like sit down and just start typing at stuff. I'll get so bored. So I'll have a podcast in, I'll have earphones in. Sometimes I might try music, but for the most part, even that I find too boring. I'll just get lost in my own mind, and I don't like my own mind that much. So yeah, usually I have YouTube Premium, and I consume probably about like 20 hours a day, including the fact that it plays while I sleep. Sometimes I try to get it to do like a sleep timer so that it turns off automatically, but sometimes that doesn't work. So sometimes, yeah, I might hit about 20 hours a day. And so that's kind of my default. So when it comes to these streams, I think part of what gets me burnt out is that I cannot listen to other people's voices. I cannot shut off my persona and listen to others. I just have to have other things playing. So that is why I'm really hoping that music helps. I'm gonna be playing DJ here with the Stream Deck. And someday I'll invest in an actual sound control board. But for now, I'm doing it by tabbing out and swiping up and down controls. And it's very clunky. So if you hear the music volume changing and it looks like I'm zoning out, it's because I'm clicking around windows with a horrible little trackpad. But anyway, let's just get into it, shall we? Should I coin that catchphrase? I don't think anyone's ever used it. Okay. So, is that resizing nicely? What the hell? Is this the full window? No, it's going off the screen. Lovely. Windows is great. Okay. So, what I want to work on, first of all, we've got, I think, the beginnings of a component called, how do I actually get the sidebar up here? Playback. Yeah, we might need to change the name as we go, but this is the first thing I'm going to play with. So this component currently does 0. And what I want to do with it... So we've got a few things to this, actually. We've got an interface for changing... Actually, I'll go this over here. Go over here. So we've got 2 steps to it. We've got the tabbed interface. That says tabbed interface, okay? Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. And we've got just code display. So those are 2 separate things that should probably not be baked necessarily into the same component, unless they're two standalone components and then a third component that combines them. And basically what I mean is currently I've got a way to, you take a plain text string and it outputs a plain text string. But I don't have a way built into the library to nicely display code. And there's something that I might want to play around with in there. So we'll see. Yeah, so that's one component that I think I'll probably start with. And then we've got the idea of the tabbed interface, which we'll discuss what I actually mean by that, for going between iterations when we get to it. But yeah, so maybe the playback component will be that sort of idea of the tabbed interface. So we'll leave that as it is. And then we'll go off and make... down here, yeah. So we'll make new component, new folder, and what do we call it? Code. We just call it code. Is that boring? Just like a block of text that shows code. Yeah, I guess that's what it can be. This section will be real fun because we're going to be doing some Googling. We're going to be doing some pretty heavily Googling at this point to figure out what to actually do here, because I did not do that much research. I did a little bit of research like 2 weeks ago. So I'm just setting up the setting up the basic file structure here. Export defaults. I'm also trying to get used to using my mechanical keyboard, which primarily a gaming keyboard. Getting used to using that as my main coding thing, because I'm really fluent with using my laptop keyboard, which basically I'm doing all this from a laptop. But I'm trying to force myself to get used to the keyboard, because I've got this nice mechanical keyboard and I want to figure it out. So bear with me if it looks like I am typing for the first time in my life. Export default code. And I'm just going to return, I think we'll be returning pre. What am I doing? Props. Oh my god. Yeah, we're doing this through TypeScript as well. So code props. So there's going to be a lot of interfaces and types being defined. Interface code props is not string. What do we call it? I guess it's children. We probably put it as the child. So I'm just going to say this extends props with children. I'm just going to extend it just with an empty object for now. For now. I said that to my prompter, but you're over there. So this is just going to return pre-formatted block. I don't even know if we want to go with that for now. Unterminated regular expression. What? Oh crap, I'm doing this in the wrong file. Yeah, I did that. I just swapped these around, didn't I? Bear with me, Cadeau. I swear I've coded before in my life. It might not look it. Okay, at least it's not complaining. Cool. Code props. So this is just returning pre-formatted, and it's gonna render props.children. So there's our code. I'm gonna grab just like placeholder storybook stuff, stick that in here, just so that it will start actually rendering on the screen. I'll rename this to code.stories and rename this stuff. I really got to make like a generator, some standardized way to generate, to create these story files. That's part of the documentation stuff I want to work on. Is I've got some cool like not package readme generator stuff going, where the actual descriptions of my stories get generated automatically and they're kept in sync with the stories, and the readmes on GitHub are kept in sync so that they can reference each other and back and forth. I've got like a proof of concept going on one of them. Back.js. I don't know why I did that. I'm just gonna call it code basic. And let's see if that doesn't break. Yeah, okay. So sidebar, and we'll go to our code component. Cool, and it's still doing nothing. But what we're going to do is give it some children. And let's give it a block of actual code. So let's say import React from React. I wonder if I could like dynamically import an actual React file at this point to have some real code to work from. I'm just going to give it just some placeholder stuff for now though. It's fine. We want it to just look semi-decent. But like, well, yeah, I'll just grab this. Sure. Sample code.tsx. Actually, no, don't need tsx because this is just going to be a string. Export defaults. Sample. Export default, sample code. It's probably too big because it'll appear massive in this preview. Maybe I'll put like it'll probably have like a scroll height in there. I just realized I'm covering up the preview. That's something I had not thought of. So we're all meant to be looking over here, and yet I'm covering that side up. But think about it as I go. Maybe I was thinking, should the browser be on the left side of the screen, but I've got the chat on the left side of the screen. So if chat ever actually chimes in, we'll want the more boring stuff to be over there. This is fine for now. I'll just think about what we can do if we actually need to be looking at the browser, if we've got the real interesting stuff happening over on the right side of the screen. But for now, not going to worry about it. Let's see. Code. Sample code. Exported it. It's in there. Sample code. Okay. Okay. Cool. So it's rendering pre-formatted text. I don't know why there's multiple scrolls. That's weird. That's just Storybook being weird. That's not anything I've done, I don't think. Okay. Unless the pre-formatted text itself has a scroll. Display contents. That's not going to work, is it? That'll just break the pre-formatting. No? Okay. Didn't change anything about the scroll bar either way. So I'm going to pretend that's not a thing and assume that's just Storybook putting max widths on stuff. Okay. So it is working. Why is that the most left I can scroll though? Oops. So it is going off screen. That's really weird. I think that's Storybook being bad. Yeah, I think so. That's a little frustrating, but it's working. We've got pre-formatted code. We want to see about making it look nice, making it formatted. So what I found, I saw mention of that there was built-in support on some Reddit thread. But for the most part, I saw that there's a public, like an external JavaScript file that you can pull in as like a script tag on any website, and it'll allow for pre-formatting or for formatting text like this code. So that's something that I'm considering doing, is having a hook, like a use code display hook or something that automatically includes this script and only if it's needed, that kind of stuff. And like unloads it when the hook unloads. Probably don't even need that though. Yeah, so if we need that external script, I'm just gonna put in a nice little hook that loads that in for us. But for now, I'm just gonna do a little experimenting. See what is there any built-in support to make this appear as, you know, nice formatted stuff. Like basically what I'm talking about with formatted stuff. Just go to GitHub. GitHub has it. You know, do I have anything here? Not on the website, but on the here. Was this not formatting nicely? Interesting. I guess I need to specify that this is JavaScript here. I'm not doing that. But somewhere in Storybook, oh, some component I made. I think animated text. Does not have some component has a README. It's in here somewhere. Is it use animate? Use animated text. Oh, that's going to annoy me. Truncate. Use truncate. Here it is. So this is what I'm talking about. This idea of syntax highlighting. So it's a pre-formatted text block, but it's highlighting the syntax. So let's first and foremost just see what is GitHub doing to render this. This is a pre-tag. Okay, highlight source JS. Interesting. So yeah, it's a pre-tag and all of the code is broken down individually into small little snippets. So I wonder how are they achieving that? They probably have like a built-in solution. Wouldn't be surprised, but I'm just going to Google this class name, highlight source JS, and see if anything shows up. So it is highlight JS. This is the thing that I saw that you can like require into your library. But the problem is that I want 0 dependencies. That's one arbitrary goal I've given myself with this library, is to have 0 dependencies in it. And I'm probably going to have to give that up eventually. But I don't want to give it up already, like a month in. So one thing that I'm considering is importing it, like as a script. And at least that way, like it is still using something external, but it's not a dependency in the spirit of like an NPM module. So doing that will automatically highlight code inside pre and code tags. So what is the difference between a pre and a code tag? HTML code tag. If I render it as code, will it not respect line breaks? And like, you know, it'll apply additional formatting. Yeah. Okay, so can I nest them? What am I doing? I nest them. Okay, it looks just like it did when I was just using the pre tag. So let's see, is there any benefit of actually using this? This tag is not deprecated, however, it's possible to achieve richer effect using CSS. See example. Okay, so the whole point of the code tag is just to use the built-in code font, and I guess so. Yeah, it's kind of pointless. Not going to go with that then. So yeah, I'm going to go looking at Reddit. I'm going to do it in an incognito window because I saw something about, like in the last couple of days, someone saying that you don't need an external library to do this, that you can use built-in tags. And one of the tags that I saw, actually, I'm just going to see, is there mention of like other things you can do? Because there was some tag that I had never heard of, that other people had never heard of. It might have been like KBD. No. It was just like 3 letters, and they were claiming that it was able to format text. Or it's probably not real. It's probably made up. I just kind of want to see what they were going on about. Let's music up. Oh, damn. I only just saw your message, Chainsaw Chowdy. Hey. Don't know if you're still here. Sorry for the delay. Yeah, I was not looking at my chat. Apologies for that. Oh, you are still here. Awesome. I need to work on my system because it's so appears so tiny on my screen. Yeah, happy to have you back. Yeah, I was getting lost looking at documentation. Basically, don't know how long you've been here for. I am trying to get my library to be able to nicely format text. There seems to be a bunch of ways of doing it. So I'm adding this like code component, but right now it's just, it's not syntax highlighting and all that. So one way that I can go about doing that is using this library called highlight.js. And so one thing that with the library, with my LocalBoast library, I've been trying to avoid adding any dependencies as just like a weird little desire of mine to just have the library be dependency free. And so far it's been going well, but this is one where I might need an external dependency. But at the very least, I might just be able to import it as a script at like runtime. So it won't appear to, like the package won't have dependencies, but it will make use of this external script. So yeah, I'm gonna see if that's a way that I'll probably end up having to do it to get some like JavaScript syntax highlighting on this. But right now I'm just looking around at some tags, some built-in stuff to see is there any native support for code syntax highlighting, because I saw someone on Reddit recently.
New follower, Eris12.
Thank you, Eris12. Didn't know anyone else was watching. Very happy to have you. And getting in with the first follower of the day nice and early. Thank you so much. So yeah, I was pretty certain that I would have to go this using an external library approach. And then I saw just, I'm on like a React or like JavaScript subreddit. And I just see some questions come in from time to time talking about like dumb questions about React. Some of them are incredibly basic and don't interest me. And some of them are like right exactly what I need to know at that time. And one question that I saw the other day was, how do I get my React library to format code, like to syntax highlight? Oh, holy crap, that's exactly what I'm building. What are the answers? And some people in the comments were like, you don't need an external library. There's built-in support for it. And they made reference to like this HTML tag that I'd never heard of before. I think it's like, it was just 3 letters that made no sense to me, like BDI or BDO or something like that. And I was just about to comment on how clean the green screen setup is, and then saw there wasn't one. Yeah, I mentioned at the start, I have a green screen. I got one years ago and I've never used it. And so I was spending all day yesterday setting up the green screen and figuring, I'd have my main camera here for talking heads up, and then, okay, I've got the side camera going green screen on me, and I had that going, and it just looked like crap. The green screen was not working very well because like I needed to iron it, and my lighting setup wasn't good enough. But the thing is, I've got an NVIDIA graphics card, and that can do background removal better than the green screen can. So I was using the green screen and the AI background removal to do it all. But then I realized, yeah, this is somehow worse than just having the green screen on. So right now, this is all happening through just my graphics card removing my background on that one. And you can even see when I go over to this display, my main camera does not have a background, and it works so well. So yeah, thank you. It does look annoyingly good, considering that I have a green screen that I now basically have no need for. Maybe if I get my lighting right and bother ironing it someday, I'll find that it's like good enough that it just makes it worthwhile actually using it. But yeah, for now we'll go this way. Because yeah, the problem with having the green screen is that when I switch to this monitor or to this camera, it blocks out the window, so the lighting is worse. And then also there's like a big green screen to the left of me, which didn't look great. But yeah. Yeah, happy to have both of you here anyway. Feel free to keep talking in the comments. I'm annoyed because like I have a new teleprompter set up over here. So I'm looking in the camera, but I'm also looking at chat. And what I'm realizing is that my little display of myself with my chat on the screen is not nearly big enough for me to actually see what's written. So, okay. Now I've set up the teleprompter so that I can... Actually, is there a way for me to show this to you? Probably not. I should stop giving myself these dumb challenges. Okay, this is what's going to happen. This is what I'm doing. Swiveling this camera around. Hopefully don't break anything. Oh, it's definitely going to break something. So here's my teleprompter. Can you see it? Oh, what is happening? Okay, here's my teleprompter. And I can see myself and my chat. And it's all upside down because this camera is inverted. Oh, that was horrible. I shouldn't have even tried. I give up. We're going off script. Yeah. At least when there was no one in chat, there was no need for me to have the chat overlaying on the teleprompter, but I've just turned that on. So now I'll actually be able to see when messages come in. And I won't have to rely on seeing a teeny tiny chat window on my window preview. Anyway, massive tangent. Thank you. It is, yeah, I took like a not full month, but like 3 weeks off streaming and have been heavily delaying working on actual YouTube videos, mainly like partly because I'm really hesitant. And I'm really bad at reading at a camera without a script. And also I knew that I had this teleprompter coming because I ordered this months ago and it's just been on back order and took so long to get here. So I kept being like, oh, why work on YouTube videos now when I'm going to have this teleprompter to make everything so much better in a week or two? So yeah, it's all sorted now. This is basically my dream setup. We're just going to start actually using it now. That's the challenge. No longer just buying the dumb stuff. Got to actually use it. Okay, back to code. I want to achieve something today. So yeah, what I was saying was I saw on some dumb Reddit thread someone talking about native support for syntax highlighting using some HTML tag that I had never heard of. So before I go desperately searching through old Reddit threads, I just want to see, is there like some mention online that I can see of just like some tag that rings a bell? It's like, oh yeah, that's what he was talking about. And I don't think I'm gonna find it. So yeah, I might be going into Reddit, and there's perfect music for that because it's an extreme Reddit chase. Sorry, I need to see what's going on the actual window. Is that okay? That pog face is in the chat. Okay. Sorry, with my chat overlaying my preview, I was like, why is that one face lingering there so long? It's just my chat being weird. Ignore me. Not my chat as in you guys. You guys are not being weird. You guys are great. I mean my chat window. Yeah, this is the Reddit theme music. Does this not play in your head whenever you go to Reddit? So the first question is, what subreddit was it? It's probably type. I mean like JavaScript and TypeScript and React. So I'm just gonna see text highlighting. Quick little adventure. 5-minute coding adventure. It's gonna be great. Implementing config. Oh. What shit? Was that flashing for you guys? Yeah, it was. I have no idea why it was doing that. Yeah, it probably wasn't TypeScript. Let's try. Might have just been code or web. God, I'm in so many goddamn subreddits. Is there a web dev subreddit? Yeah. Web dev. This is the kind of stuff that I absolutely should have looked into before starting streaming. But this is part of the adventure. Seeing the full process. Okay. Syntax highlighting. This is just me delaying the inevitable of needing to use that external dependency. It was within the last week, I think. No. Past month. Nothing. Yeah, I think it's probably in the web dev subreddit. So I'm just going to quickly scroll through some of the top things because I think I might have got like notified about it. This doesn't count as me reacting as reaction content because the stuff's only staying on the screen for half a second. Can't get mad at me. Yeah, god damn it, I have no idea why it's flashing like that. That is, I think, my graphics card being shit. You're good, man. I'm just gonna unplug and replug my my capture card because the way it's flashing like that, I think it's just because I'm using a cheap thing from Amazon. The entire screen went black there for a second. As if I wasn't sweating enough and now all the blood has gone to my head. Okay, so hopefully that weird screen flashing stops now. Can only hope. I have no idea how long this song is, but I think when the song ends, I'm gonna give up. Just, I'll make it full screen at the very least. Wait. What's happening? Oh, the capture card is frozen. God damn it. I need to restart that. You'd never be able to tell. This is my first time streaming in like 3 weeks. Capture card. So I broke it even worse? Yeah, it is so fitting. God damn. We have capture. Now if it flashes once, I'm just killing the stream. Hey, Kush Brambat, I'm pronouncing that right. Happy to have you. You're joining me on a horrible technical difficulties with hardware in the middle of a 5-minute coding adventure, trying to figure out one little thing on Reddit, trying to recall something that I saw a few days ago, and the music in the background is very much fitting the tension. I am sad, man. And how are you? Oh, I'm good. Oh, sorry that you're sad. Hope can take your mind off things, or if you're needing support with anything, feel free to ask. Yeah, basically what we are working on to catch up. I'll try not to go on about it. What we're working on is I need to switch my monitor over. Give me 1 second. I'm working on a React library, and the thing we're working on now is a thing to handle syntax highlighting, and I'm trying to see how other people do it, and if there's a way without using external dependencies to do it. Oh, I had a PHP interview and it went bad. Precious position. Yeah, I think, oh god, interviews, I have just so many bad memories of them, mainly because I had to conduct a lot of interviews at both of my jobs, and yeah, interviews for my mindset of not liking
New follower,
explaining people. Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. Happy to have you. Yes, interviews stress me out so much, and just the mental anguish. Even after an interview that goes well, it wrecks my head. So, and yeah, any bad interview I've had can get you down for a long time. So yeah, hope you're feeling better. Don't let it get to you. There's millions of jobs out there. And yeah, hopefully another one will come along soon for you. Yeah, so I think I'm at the point of giving up on finding this thing. The problem is they probably didn't even call it syntax highlighting. They probably called it like how to display code or something. Not very easily findable. And the goddamn capture card is flashing again, isn't it? Well, the song ended, and you know what that means. means I quit. I quit searching for this, and I have to just use this external library. It's a sad day, and I'm putting on some sad music for it. I'm gonna crank this music because it's way too quiet now. If I can at all find my cursor. Yeah, this is why I need to invest in some audio control stuff so that I'm not tabbing around to get this working. God. There we go. Sorry, what was it? Yeah, you'll get him next time. Absolutely. Yeah, like, bear in mind that even if an interview goes incredibly well, you know, interviewers are so inconsistent with what they're taking on board, with how many people they're interviewing. Like, I've had the best interviews in the world where like I never hear back from them, and so like interviewing in general is just a horrible thing to go through. So yeah, I'd say just try to just think of the next thing, and also maybe it probably didn't go as bad as you think it did. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna try to just import this stuff here. So that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, you can self-host it. That's something I could do. It feels shitty to just take this guy's code and put it into my library. So for now, I'll just try to just grab it from this. Let's see. Well, basically, I want to make a hook that imports this at runtime, which might not be the most efficient way of doing it. We'll try it for now. So I'll make a new hook for this, and it needs to decide on a new name for it. What do we go? Use code syntax. No, that's bad. Use syntax highlighting. Yeah, it's a bit verbose, but that's what I'll go with. So in here, going to do the usual rigmarole. Use index, or use index. What am I saying? Syntax highlighting.tsx. And use I definitely have a typo in there somewhere. Highlighting. Wow. Yet I didn't have my chat overlay. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Nope. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with my screen, why it's flashing like that. I think this is the first time it's ever done that. I've got like a real janky setup where like extenders and wires going all over the place, conditionally going into my streaming PC or my laptop via like one USB-C hub. And so just things keep just like flashing, and then all of a sudden the keyboard just stops working and I have to just unplug the entire controller and replug it in. And then it starts working again perfectly. So yeah, maybe someday I'll find a way to get everything stable, but I highly doubt it. Export defaults. Use syntax highlighting. And export default from / use syntax highlighting. Now this guy. So what are we going to do here? When the component, or when this hook first runs, we're going to try add this into the body, or into the document header, I guess. I guess that's where it should go. I'm pretty sure I've done that in the code base already. I'm just going to quickly Google that. React inject header script. This is way too old. That's not going to be talking about hooks. Adding scripts in React. Head.append child. Yeah, this is what I need. So I'm going to have a use effect that, yeah, I don't need this because I think we'll know the URL. And do I still have the other stuff here? Okay. Ooh, so the question is how this highlight all thing works. Gotta have music playing for this. So yeah, that's an unanswered question, is how we actually make the highlighting happen. It seems like it might have to happen, like execute it every time the code changes, which isn't great. That might be really inefficient. I kind of hoped it would just be like detecting the presence of code, but yeah, that doesn't even make sense, because then it would have to be listening to the contents of all the code tags. So it probably doesn't do that. Maybe it does, but we'll see. So do we actually need this style sheet? Probably do. Okay. So we need to inject both of those, and then I have no idea why there's two scripts. There's languages and highlight. It's easy to individually load additional languages. I'm gonna leave that out for now. Yeah, because it's a React library, so we really only care about highlighting React or JavaScript. It's possible this additional language is going to be needed for React and other libraries, but for now, I'm just going to hope that the style sheet and the main JavaScript syntax sorter are the only things we need. So we need both of these in here. So then we're going to figure out how this is going to work. So we're getting the head from the document, then we're creating a script. So we're going to need to do link. We're basically going to do everything here twice, because we've got a script and a link tag to sort out. So we've got script.set attribute. I'm just going to copy all of this. So link.set attribute href. That's the attribute for that one. And then we're setting the URL, or sorry, the source for this guy. And hopefully this should just kind of work. I've no idea how to test it really, other than just constantly running this highlight all thing. Maybe just running it once will highlight what's already there, and then we can test how to repeat running it down the line. But so yeah, we've got that, and then we want to do the same thing with the link. I wonder, is there any other attributes to watch here? Oh, I just got that, the least controversial form of React content. Thank God that someone saw it. Yeah, I found that very funny, because I've been watching a lot of Dark Viper AU. Don't know if you guys know him. He's primarily like a Grand Theft Auto YouTuber and streamer, but he has done a lot of like essays and deep dives into React content and the shadiness of it, and so that's really on my mind. That's why if I see anyone else's content or videos while I'm going through stuff, I'll be like, oh crap, I do not want to linger here. I do not want to just steal their content, because I've seen all these people talk about how bad React content is. So I just felt the need to put a little joke in there, given that I'm literally making React content. Okay, head, why is this complaining? Because it's possibly null. Okay, so I guess just if not head, I imagine that will never be the case. Or, you know what? I think we can probably assume that the document will have a head. So I'm just going to do that, enforce that it's there, and then remove them when this unloads. This hopefully makes sense, and hopefully won't be really inefficient. Hopefully browsers are smart enough that if you... thank you, I love it too. I'm glad someone else does. Yeah, hopefully browsers are smart enough. Basically, what my worry is that this hook is going to be adding these script tags. And like hypothetically, say it's a storybook component and you've got 10 different code snippets and each of them is going to be using this hook, then hypothetically there could be 10 versions of these scripts getting added to the header. So that's something I probably need to watch out for, is to check if these actually are already in there. So yeah, that's something I guess I could do. I could set attributes on these, like I could set IDs on them and see do those IDs exist. I'm going to do that as a to-do. To-do, attach IDs and check if they exist already. Because like, hopefully that wouldn't be that big a problem anyway, because I imagine browsers are smart enough that if you had the same script 10 times, hopefully it would like dedupe that and wouldn't just open 10 sockets and try to download the same script 10 times. And especially if the script is already loaded. I don't know though. It's probably something that I'd want to add in there. But yeah, so that should hopefully load those scripts in. And then I guess we want to just call this at a certain time. Maybe this hook should return function that calls it. So return use callback. And this callback is going to do this dot highlight all. What is that though? Is that just a global variable? HLJS. So I'm imagining this script, when it runs, it's going to attach a global variable called HLJS. So I'm going to say if window.hljs, call it. What's a TypeScript friendly way of doing that? HLJS in window? Is that a way? Window.hljs. Yeah, I'm gonna need to like extend the TypeScript declaration for window object or something to make this work. For now, TS ignore. Magic. I'm gonna also stick a debugger in here so that I know if it goes horribly wrong and why. So over here in our code component, now I'm actually gonna call this function, or yeah, call our hook. So const format equals use syntax highlighting. Format isn't right because it's not formatting anything, it's highlighting. Highlight, and screw it, I'm just gonna say use interval. Oh, Mantine has a use interval. I built one of those as well. And I'm just gonna call highlight every second. Talk about inefficient. Let's see, does this work in the slightest? Does anything happen? No. Is there debugger running? Actually, I'm just going to type HLJS in here. HLJS is not defined. Okay. Ooh, there might be difficulty here because Storybook is happening inside iframes. So I don't actually know what head it would be attaching this stuff to. Presumably the like lowest down one. So let's see if we can see it in there. Here's the head. Style sheet. Oh. Oh, no, it is. It's adding the script and the link. Cool. That's good. It's just not seeing HLJS. So where the hell does that come from? Go and Google HLJS is not defined. It's not defined. you aren't truly loading the JS file. If the JS is loaded, then HLJS will be defined. Interesting. Progress. Yeah, that's something. We've got scripts. Oh, we've got scripts. And out of interest, if I tab away from this, they should be removed. They are. Awesome. They're no longer in the DOM. So that's good. It's doing what it's supposed to. And there they are again when I go back. Cool. However, HL.js is now defined. Okay. I wonder why it wasn't earlier. Yeah, the music, it is quite 007 like. Basically, most of the music I have is from Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. So a lot of it will have very similar vibes, very, I don't know, intrigue, spy, espionage. Things where it'd be befitting to be holding a gun while doing it, which I think is very fitting for a coding stream. Yeah, so we've got HLJS there, and my interval should be running, but it's not formatting. HLJS dot highlight all. So there's a highlight auto thing. So highlight all isn't working. Highlight auto cannot read properties. Okay, that's fun. Highlight. I should probably look at the documentation for this. No, that feels... Looking at documentation feels like one step too far for boring. But at the same time, I guess we want this stream to actually amount to something. We want to get somewhere with it. How to use... Come on, speed running this documentation. Custom usage. Highlight element. Okay, so there might be stuff to look into with nice ways to use this so that it automatically does stuff with my code blocks, but how do I just the most basic version of it? Oh, do I have to attach classes to it? Oh, that would make a lot of sense. So language, because that's what GitHub had. When I went looking at GitHub, I was seeing that this was full of highlight and highlight source JS. Okay, so in the browser, bare minimum, this will find and highlight code inside of pre/code tags. Tries to detect the language automatically. So does it need both? Is that something? Because I was checking earlier, do we actually need the code tag at all? Maybe that is essential for this to work. Highlight all. Nope. Falling back to no highlight mode for this block. Oh, so maybe I do need that language. That language one. Go. See, it says additional languages, so I imagine I wouldn't need that for JavaScript. Highlight.js. Okay. If I put class language JS on this. Class name. Language/JS. Is this gonna work? Yes. Element previously highlighted to highlight again. Okay, so it's detecting this block. It just doesn't know how to format it. Oh, do I need to go highlight? Probably not. I'm just kind of copying that from GitHub. doing. So it does not like my code, it seems. Because it keeps giving me this... Or I'm just using the library completely wrong. One of the two. Gonna put in more animated music. This will get the creativity out of me. Okay. Perfect music to befit looking at documentation. Okay, so I don't think I need highlight because you need to explicitly opt out of highlighting some stuff. So, yeah, so it does seem like... God, that music is too loud, isn't it? Dial that down a little bit. Yeah, so you need to explicitly opt out of syntax highlighting. But what I was saying, yeah, was that use syntax highlighting is probably something that we want to only happen once, if any component calls it. So apologies for the distraction. If you were to ever do a gaming stream, which game might you start up? Oh, yeah, I don't know if I've actually talked about gaming streams, but like, I really want to do them. Because I love playing games, but I don't do them nearly enough, and I'd love to just be like, oh, today I'm not doing code, I'm doing gaming. But I feel like that hurts any sort of a brand that I'm trying to build. So like, I think if I did that, I'd need to decide down the line, do I be like strict to say like, okay, midweek streams are coding, but if you want to see me do some gaming, they happen at the weekend, blah, blah, stuff like that. Or just like I have a separate Twitch account called Connor Kelleher, so I could just do gaming streams on there. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if and when I ever actually will do gaming streams. That being said, I would probably do games that I would love to put more time into, but see as massive time sinks and don't justify putting the time into. So like, there's a bunch of games that I have played the shit out of and want to put more time into. Like Baldur's Gate is one. Like, I'm near the end of Act 2 and I've already got like 80 hours in it, and just the idea of putting in another like 40 hours to finish that game, I'm gonna do it, but it's daunting. So that's something that, like, if I were doing gaming streams, then it's like, yeah, do that and have people watch and, you know, build an audience while playing it, then it's justified. There's other ones like Skyrim that I've got hundreds of hours in and always think, oh, wouldn't it be nostalgic to go back and play that again? But I can't justify it because I've got so many other games to play and I don't know, other stuff to be getting on with. And the one that I will always come back to is being like, someday I will really try it, is Red Dead Redemption 2. I tried it once and I just could not get into it. It was so slow. And bear in mind, I was doing this at a time when like I had a full-time job, so my gaming time was like 1 hour at the end of the day twice a week or something like that, because like I had like, yeah, I'd finish my job, come home, and then have to take the dog out and maybe cook dinner and stuff and spend time with my partner. So the amount of time I actually had to dedicate to games was so tiny. So the idea of like such a slow, deliberately slow game, I just could not get into. So that's one where like if I was dedicating a good bit of time to really try gaming streams and be like, no, this is something that I can devote time to, that's one I'd probably do. Red Dead. Yeah, fun little tangent. Do not worry about distracting me at any point. I need to be pulled out of my little code holes from time to time. Do you have any recommendations? I'm like, while I call myself a gamer, there's like a bunch of massive games that I like literally know nothing about and like have steered clear of. And so you can see like the three that I named are like three of the biggest games of the last couple decades, probably. There's nothing too niche, is what I'm talking about. But yeah. Okay. Back into the code hole. So yeah. Oh yeah, forgot what I was doing. Ugh, syntax highlighting. Gross. My dog has woken up and she's decided to roll around on the floor making a load of noise. So let's see if that becomes more problematic. So you don't have the best game library. Got me thinking about Splinter Cell earlier and was curious if you'd ever hit any retro games. I could do that, yeah. I might see myself doing that. Like I mentioned, all this music's coming from Metal Gear Solid 2. That's one that I think I played through that in full like a couple of years ago on like a PS2 emulator. So yeah, I could see myself playing some retro games. Probably only ones that I played when I was a child, because like I think a lot of those games don't necessarily hold up that well if it's your first time playing it. But like, you know, just hearing the startup music of Metal Gear Solid, if I have it here. Nope, that's not it. Well, this one is from Metal Gear Solid 2, and this is nostalgic as hell. Yeah, there's some stuff just you hear it and you think, okay, that just takes me back to my childhood playing games that I absolutely shouldn't have been playing when I was that age. But like, this deserves me to turn the volume up. Hang on. Sorry, it's such an ordeal for me to change the volume because I'm just flicking around different screens on my Stream Deck. Bear with me. Yeah. Don't know how clearly that came through, but that's like the very first noise you hear when the first Metal Gear Solid game starts up, and it's so gives me chills. Yeah, so I could definitely see myself doing some retro gaming. Oh god, every time I go back to these docs, I'm like, ugh, gross. Oh dang, I remember. Yeah, there's some sounds, something, visuals or audio cues you hear, and it's like, oh my god, I remember that. So yeah, I'm looking at these docs thinking like, I feel like it thinks that it should be working. I feel like it's written in such a way that it's like, yeah, just do these simple things and it should work for you. Which make me think that there's some fundamental reason that it's not working. Such as maybe I need to include this additional script. I'm just going to include this. It's not like it's a dependency that's hard to uninstall if I need to. I'm just going to include this languages script and see if that just fixes it. Lang script. That's wrong. Messed that up. God damn it. Okay. Line script. Yeah, I think I'm letting the loudness of the music convince me that I don't need to talk. It's probably fine not to talk for just a little bit while I get this working, and it's good that the music did happen to be quite loud at that point. I'll go back to being fun soon, don't worry. Okay, so we're appending this, appending lang script, appending script. Now it'll just work perfectly. JS, is it going to be there? HLJS? It's undefined. That's weird. It's weird that it's just sometimes there and sometimes not. HLJS. Okay. I'm gonna go for a pee break. When I come back, this is gonna make perfect sense to me. So, see you in just a moment. Yeah, I know I said I was going to the bathroom, and then I put up a screen saying that my dog was distracting me. That wasn't a lie, because now the dog is distracting me. Here we are. This UX documentation better get ready. It's about to become 100% comprehensible before it realizes it. I should have brought over sunglasses. I had just put them on as I read that. Yeah, absolutely. Looking back with Luna. Yeah, she's the main character. She's just has not accepted that she needs to be visible on screen at all times. She keeps going over to the couch, relaxing or something. But yeah, this is gonna work now. Let's do it. Oh God, every time I see this documentation. Hopefully that doesn't happen with my documentation. Hopefully every time people see this, it'll be, oh, lovely. Can't wait to use that. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, so what I couldn't figure out was why this thing that's supposed to be globally referenceable just isn't. HLJS is not defined. Even though the script should be there. But now, nope, still undefined. Even though it should be in the head tag. And let's verify that it is. Is there a thing with script tags that I'm not familiar with? Do you need to like tell them explicitly to auto load or something? Yeah, so we can see our 3 scripts are here. Oh, it's loading Go. I don't want it to load Go. Can I say JavaScript? Oh, I probably need support for TypeScript, don't I? Let's see if TypeScript is a thing. HLJS. Still haven't gotten around that being undefined. And we need happier music. That's the problem. I wonder if adding this in here is actually what's causing the problem. Is it like... Yeah, how dare she relax? Sorry, I just saw your message. She relaxes at the most inconvenient times though. Like I try to take her out on a big walk in the mornings to like really tire her out, but she never has the energy then. She's like, no, let's go back inside. I was relaxing. Then you take her up and you start doing something. Then she decides, no, that's when you're taking me out, Connor. Yeah, and always just an hour or two into stream is when she decides she has energy. Yeah, so if I get rid of that languages script, is HLJS present? No. I wonder what is going on there. Reload dynamically, script will wait until it's loaded. Yeah, I wonder, could I put like an onload on the script? That's the thing, right? Script.onload. Onload. What did I just do? Okay, so it's loading. The onload is called, what the hell? Okay, ignore that. Ignore that. So the onload is called immediately. There's like no delay to it. The script is there. And yet, HL.js is now present. Maybe I was in the wrong context before. I guess that's a thing here, maybe. That like, because of all the iframes going, maybe there's multiple windows. I don't know. Okay, HLJS dot highlight all. Undefined. Oh, it's frustrating. Okay, I'm gonna do an unbelievable thing, and I'm just gonna look. I'm gonna read through this documentation. It's not as a module, so I don't care about that. It's HTML tags. That's not what I need. Over here is what I need. In the browser, the bare minimum for using highlight.js on a web page is linking to the library along with one of the themes and calling highlight all. Linking to the library along with one of the themes. Okay. I guess that's what default.min is. It's linking to one of the theme style sheets. And this linking to highlight.min. So we have that. We're linking to highlight.min. Yep. And default.min.css. Yep. So we shouldn't need this extra language thing. To apply highlight.js to plain text without actually highlighting it, use the plain text language. It's weird. Supported languages, custom usage. Yeah, like I said earlier, they're making it seem like it's really straightforward and easy to use. So they're not really going into like these are all the extra little things you need to do to make it work. Use the plain text language. What about TypeScript? Maybe I'll just Google the words HL or highlight.js TypeScript. TSX.
New follower, Ashish4563.
Oh. Thank you so much for the follow, Ashish4563. You're, I think, maybe the 4th follower of today, which is maybe a personal record. So thank you so much. Happy to have you here on this incredibly enticing journey of me looking through documentation confused. Yeah, that's what I like about you, Chainsaw Chody, is you're not just welcoming to me, you're welcoming to other people in the community. You're welcoming everyone else on board. You're a good one. If I ever get to the point of having mods, maybe I'll consider making you a mod. This music's a bit loud though. My God. Okay. Every time I try to change the volume of my music, I get closer to the point of just going on Amazon and buying like a piece of hardware that allows me to control my music because it's clunky. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not getting my answers there. TypeScript. That's probably the more important place to start.
Skyrim theme song from the Elder Scrolls Skyrim.
Highlight.js. That's not helping. What am I learning? So what I'm working on is a React library called LocalBoast. So that's what I work on stream, and also my website that uses that library. And one of the things that I'm working right now to try to get is just a way to syntax highlight some JavaScript. Partly because I want to be able to have some nice animation between different code snippets. But basically, I just want to have my library be able to do some syntax highlighting. And to do that, I've made a hook called use syntax highlighting that's in my library that's going to dynamically load in these scripts from highlight.js so as to be able to highlight code snippets. And it's just not working. I've done all the things in the README and it's just not working. And now I'm like, okay, it's explaining how to do it with like JavaScript, but I'm using TypeScript and React. Oh, my dog's freaking out. Don't know if it was clear because of the green screen, but there was a dog on my lap the whole time. And she just squirmed. Yeah, so maybe what I should do is just see if it works with like vanilla JavaScript. That's what I'm going to try now. Is it the fact that it was like JSX that was making it too difficult? Const vanilla. I think this music is a bit too weird for right now. Vanilla JS. Const thing equals true. Return thing. That's like the most basic JavaScript can get, right? var. There you go. That's the most basic. I'd never use var, but like that's as vanilla as JavaScript can get, I think. Is it gonna highlight this nicely? Let's see. I need to make that the default export. Shit. There we go. No. HLJS is not defined. Awesome. Because I'm in the wrong context? Yes. Okay, it was. That was how it works. Okay. So I don't know what it means when it says it returns undefined. Highlight auto. Feels like that one should be easier to use, but that's the one that throws me errors. Why is that? Highlight auto. Done. Okay, so highlight auto. You run it against a single piece of text, which I don't think we need. Although maybe that's a nice way to get this working with my code component being able to automatically update. That's something to think about. But for now, highlight all should just be working. I don't know why it's not working. At a certain point, I might just give up and decide that this is something that should be worked on off stream, and we can try to do something more fun, like work on my own documentation. Because that's the second thing that I had planned for today. You can see this is my little to-do list: plan, playback component, and work on documentation. So if you're in for the long haul, you can have that to look forward to. Okay. So I still feel like I'm missing something with this whole class thing. Let's put in class plain text on it. If I put class JavaScript, have I tried that? music too intense for me. Like, I know I'm pretty intense with all this stuff I'm working on, but language JS probably wasn't even JS, probably like JavaScript. Is that gonna work? No. Gel JS. Highlight all. We were once at a point where highlight all was like identifying a thing to be highlighted. Oh, actually, that was when I had this in here, wasn't it? Highlight. So maybe that was essential. No, even that's not working. So, if nothing else, we've gotten to the point on today's stream. We've gotten to the point where we can actually load the scripts in dynamically. That's pretty cool. That's something. That's not nothing. You cannot tell me that that is nothing. I will cry. Yeah. Okay. That's just a little break, little breather. I'm gonna come back to this too. Remember this? Said I'd add an ID to these tags so that I didn't just repeatedly add them over and over. What is that? Would this be an accurate summary? LocalBoast is working on creating his own React.js library. Current project, create automatic syntax highlighting. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Are you suggesting that as like as the Twitch stream title? Probably. All right, dog is sad again. Yeah, I think every single time I set up the stream, it's like forgotten what the last one I put in was, and they end up like just slightly different. It's like making the web harder for myself, doing web stuff and playing around with boring things. And I think also my the GitHub and my Patreon and all the different links have different descriptions of me because every time I go to type it, it comes out slightly different. Yeah, what was I doing? Adding the to-dos. I think there's a way to highlight a comment to show at the top of the chat. People use it to note. Interesting. Yeah. I don't know how you do that. Twitch. How to highlight comment. All right, I saw you talk about highlighting, and I was like, don't tell me how to do syntax highlighting. It's difficult. But yeah. Chat highlights can be managed. See, can I do it from here? Settings. Yeah, not sure. I think what I'm learning from looking at documentation on stream is I find it hard to look at a whole page of information and take in the relevant piece under pressure. It's possible you need to be like an affiliate because this person's talking about channel points. And I think that's the thing to do with being a Twitch affiliate. Because I'm not seeing anywhere that I can like make individual comments highlighted. Or like pinned, I guess. What's happened to my music? Pinned comment. God. Isn't the internet just amazing? All these pop-ups and ads taking over the screen and GDPR compliance notifications. Oh, I love it. Comments. Yeah, I think I'm gonna skip it for now, and I might add that to my to-do list for what I'm doing on stream is... yeah, no worries. Don't worry. feel free to look into it. But yeah, I might add it to my to-do list. Is like when I'm making a stream, I myself will pin the description as a comment. That might be a good thing to do. Screw it. I'll make a note of that.